There's an invisible force at play in the lives of every human being, a force that holds the key to unlocking the dreams and desires we often keep locked deep inside of us. We've all felt the pull, the tug of something we know we are meant to achieve or experience. Yet for many of us, despite this pull, we hesitate. We hold back, fearing what it might take to get there, fearing the unknown, or even fearing our own vulnerability. But what if I told you that the secret to manifesting the life you've always dreamed of lies in embracing that vulnerability and having the courage to move forward despite your fears? Vulnerability is a word that many of us instinctively shy away from. We've been taught to hide our weaknesses, to protect ourselves from being seen in our most fragile, uncertain, or imperfect states. We've been told that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness, that it leaves us exposed, and that it can be dangerous. But in reality, vulnerability is one of the greatest strengths we can cultivate. It is, in fact, the starting point for the most profound changes in our lives. When we talk about vulnerability in the context of manifestation, we're talking about allowing ourselves to be seen for who we truly are. Imperfect, messy, and yet full of potential. Manifesting the life you desire doesn't happen from a place of perfection. It happens when you let go of the need to have everything figured out and instead give yourself permission to take the next step, even when you're unsure of where it leads. This is where courage comes into play. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act despite the fear. It is the willingness to stand in your vulnerability, to take that leap of faith even when the outcome is uncertain. It is the courage to be seen for who you truly are and to trust that even in your imperfections, you are enough. True manifestation begins when we embrace both vulnerability and courage. Manifestation is not about creating the perfect image of who we think we should be in order to receive what we desire. It's about accepting who we truly are, flaws and all, and trusting that the universe will provide the right opportunities for us to grow and evolve into the person we are meant to become. The secret to manifestation is not about avoiding vulnerability, but about leaning into it and trusting the process. When we acknowledge our vulnerabilities, we allow ourselves to be human. We recognize that we don't have to be perfect to pursue our dreams or manifest our desires. In fact, it is often through our vulnerabilities, the moments when we feel the most raw and open, that we tap into our truest potential. Vulnerability is where we find our creativity. It is the place where we discover what really matters to us. And it's the place where we uncover the courage to take the steps needed to create the life we want. To manifest the life we desire, we must be willing to be vulnerable enough to admit what we truly want. It's easy to dream, but it's much harder to face the fear of putting those dreams into action. That's where courage comes in. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in the face of fear. It is the willingness to move forward even when you don't have all the answers. It's the trust that despite not knowing the full journey, you are being guided in the right direction. Courage allows us to break free from the limitations we place on ourselves, to push through the self-doubt that holds us back, and to take steps that will bring us closer to our true purpose. There's a beautiful paradox in this. Vulnerability and courage are interconnected. Vulnerability requires courage, and courage thrives when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. When we step into our vulnerability, we open ourselves up to new experiences, new opportunities, and new ways of thinking. It is through vulnerability that we invite the possibility of change. And it is through courage that we take action to turn that change into reality. One of the greatest misconceptions about vulnerability is that it means weakness or fragility. But in truth, vulnerability is the gateway to our greatest strength. It takes immense courage to open ourselves up, to expose the parts of us that have been hidden, and to trust that doing so will lead to growth and transformation. Vulnerability is not about being passive or helpless. It is about being open, being authentic, and allowing yourself to be present in the moment. It is the space where we can be real with ourselves and with others, where we can ask for help when needed and give help when we can. Vulnerability allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to form meaningful relationships, and to find the support we need to move forward on our journey. Imagine a life where you no longer hide the parts of you that are scared, uncertain, or imperfect. Imagine a life where you allow yourself to fully embrace who you are without fear of judgment or rejection. This is the life you are capable of creating when you understand the power of vulnerability and courage. It is through embracing your vulnerability that you will find the courage to take bold steps toward your dreams. And it is through courage that you will manifest the life you were always meant to live. The key to manifestation is understanding that the path is not always smooth and the journey is not always linear. There will be challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But these moments are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are opportunities for growth. They are the moments when you will learn the most about yourself, when you will deepen your connection to your own courage, and when you will gain the clarity and strength needed to continue moving forward. When you begin to manifest from a place of vulnerability and courage, you also begin to align with the universe's flow. The universe has a way of responding to our openness and our willingness to take risks. It meets us halfway when we show up with authenticity, with a willingness to face our fears, and with the courage to act on what we desire. Manifestation isn't about asking for things and waiting for them to show up. It's about showing up for yourself, trusting in your own worth, and taking action in alignment with your dreams. The universe will support you, but it requires your courage to make the first move. There is magic in vulnerability. There is strength in courage. Together, they form the foundation of manifestation. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we step into our truest power. And when we combine that vulnerability with courage, we are unstoppable. This is the secret to manifesting the life you want, the life you were born to live. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or for everything to fall into place. The time is now. The courage is within you, and the vulnerability is your strength. Every time you choose to act in the face of fear, every time you step into the unknown with open arms, you are manifesting. You are creating the life you desire, one brave, vulnerable step at a time. And as you continue on this journey, you will discover that the more you embrace your vulnerability and the more you allow courage to guide you, the more you will attract the life you want. The universe is waiting for you to take that first step. It's waiting for you to show up, to be vulnerable, and to be courageous. The moment you do, everything will begin to shift. So I challenge you today to take a deep breath and step into the unknown. Embrace your vulnerability. Trust in your courage. And know that as you move forward, you are manifesting the life you were always meant to live. The secret is within you and is waiting to be unlocked. The power is yours. All you need to do is take the first step. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with information, tangible outcomes, and measurable results, it can be difficult to embrace something as abstract and intangible as belief. Belief, in many ways, exists outside of the realm of what we can see, touch, or logically prove. And yet, the unseen plays a more crucial role in our lives than we often realize. It is within the unseen that the seeds of our deepest desires are planted, nurtured, and brought into fruition. What does it mean to believe in the unseen? How does belief in something intangible shape our reality and our ability to manifest the lives we dream of? What is the role of faith and trust in a universe that sometimes seems indifferent And how can we harness this invisible force to bring about the change we seek? Belief in the unseen is not just about a passive hope that things will work out in our favor. It is a deep, unwavering trust that there is a larger force, a greater intelligence, a cosmic order at play, even when we can't see or understand it. It is the faith that the universe is working for us, aligning the opportunities, people, and circumstances that we need to bring our desires into existence. And just as importantly, belief in the unseen is about trusting ourselves, the unseen power within us that guides us toward our highest potential. The unseen encompasses much more than just the things we cannot physically see. It includes the feelings, the energies, the vibrations, and the subtle shifts that guide our decisions, shape our thoughts, and ultimately direct the course of our lives. It is the invisible current that flows beneath the surface of our conscious mind, steering us toward our destiny, even when we can't fully comprehend the hows and whys of it all. When we talk about manifesting, we often think in terms of the tangible, goals, plans, actions, and results. But before anything tangible can come into being, it must first be conceived in the unseen world of thought, belief, and energy. Everything in our external world begins as a spark of inspiration, a fleeting thought, a desire that we may not even fully understand. It is in the unseen realm where our thoughts begin to take form and where our deepest wishes are heard by the universe. This is where manifestation begins. Belief is the key to unlocking the power of the unseen. Without belief, we are essentially blind to the possibilities that lie beyond our immediate circumstances. We only see what is right in front of us, and we limit ourselves to the known, to the visible, to the measurable. Belief, however, has the ability to expand our perception, to open our eyes to the unseen forces that are always at work behind the scenes. We are all familiar with the concept of faith, whether we associate it with religion, spirituality, or a more secular belief in the power of the mind. Faith is the essence of believing in the unseen. It is the trust that there is more to life than what we can perceive with our senses. It is the understanding that the universe is not a random, chaotic system, but one that is governed by laws and forces that we can tune into. These forces, however, are not always immediately obvious. They require us to believe in their existence before we can witness their. Imagine a time in your life when you had a dream or desire that seemed impossible, even irrational. Maybe you wanted to change careers, move to a new city, or build a business from scratch. When you first considered these possibilities, did it not feel like a leap into the unknown? Did it not seem impossible or improbable? Yet when you took that leap, when you allowed yourself to believe that something greater was at work, everything started to shift. Opportunities appeared. People came into your life who supported your vision. The right resources seemed to fall into place at exactly the right moment. This is the role of belief in the unseen. It is not about the instant manifestation of everything we desire, but about trusting that something is happening beneath the surface. It is about trusting that the universe is making way for us, even when we don't yet see the full picture. This trust allows us to take the steps necessary to bring our dreams into the visible world. We must first believe in what is hidden in the unseen before we can witness its manifestation in the physical world. One of the most profound aspects of belief in the unseen is the way it shapes our perceptions and actions. When we have belief in something greater than ourselves, it changes the way we see challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. Rather than seeing them as roadblocks, we begin to view them as opportunities for growth and expansion. We no longer see failure as a definitive end, but as part of the unfolding process that brings us closer to our goals. Belief in the unseen gives us the resilience to keep going even when the path is unclear or difficult.